Hi, everyone. I know you're all surprised to see that I'm finally doing another vlog. I know it's been quite some time, but I decided to go ahead and create this vlog because I have received some messages and felt the need for clarification. It's important that I state this disclaimer. The comments that I make here today have no reflection on my current employer, my professional life at all. This is merely my personal opinion, my personal perspective that I'm sharing with you today. You'll notice that I recently shared a video by Joshua Evans, who is a CODA. He interpreted this video that I shared, and this video is by a gentleman from Texas. And it struck a chord with me and took me back for a moment. And that's the reason I decided to share the video, because I felt that it wasn't okay. As a woman, as a human, I have rights. So I wanted to clarify that. First off, let's go back to the state of Texas. We know that abortions, gender affirming procedures are banned in the state of Texas. Well, currently, the state of Texas is filing suit with the federal government, stating that they're not able to access medical records of individuals, especially females. They don't have the access to those medical records due to HIPAA. Naturally, we have HIPAA in place to protect our privacy, those medical records. Well, the state of Texas is saying no. If there's suspicion, we want to be able to have access to those medical records. Now, I'd like to show you a short portion of this clip. The full video is available, and I'll share the link here in the post. But I wanted to point out a specific portion of this clip that just threw me for a loop.
Right? But abortion is illegal in Texas, right?
Abortion is illegal in the state of Texas. Women
to get the health
traveling
care she
outside
needs,
the
deserves,
state
and has
to
a right
receive health care they
the
need,
state of
deserve,
Texas is
have a right
suing to have
the
access to
state
her
of
medical
Texas
records so
wants
they
to
can be
file
like, oh,
suit
you
to
traveled
gain
out of state to get an
access to
abortion?
their
Now
medical
you have to
records.
answer for that
If they
because
see
it's
that a
illegal in
female has
Texas.
traveled
You see
outside of
how
the
that doesn't
state,
make
then they need to answer for that. Whoa, 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 whoa. Let's take a step back. I want you to watch this again, but I'm going to play it a little slower. Pay attention. Pay attention. We know that abortion is illegal here in the state of Texas. Women traveling outside the state of Texas to receive health care that they need, deserve, and have the right to. The state of Texas is now wanting to file suit with the federal government to gain access to their medical records. Once they see that an individual has traveled outside of the state, looking at that, there's a big if. If the state of Texas has the suspicion that they traveled outside of the state to obtain an abortion, they immediately want access to their medical records. What? Wait a minute. What happened to HIPAA? Where did that go? No. This is not okay. Now, I understand the topic here is abortion, which is a completely different discussion. And that's something that we could talk for days on. The abortion is not my emphasis here. So let's put that to the side. We're going to hold that. I'm not a baby killer. I'm not in full support of abortions on demand. There are unique situations, and I believe there should be options for those unique situations. So I just want to clarify that. If you'd like to ask me more information on my perspective, my stance on the matter, feel free to reach out. Talking about medical records, specifically, if the state of Texas suspects, they immediately have access to those medical records without my consent. If I go into a doctor's office, you fill out a form, and you fill that consent form out to allow the doctor's office to share your medical information with the person of your choosing. This individual can also make decisions if you're not able to make decisions on your behalf. Well, if this law goes into effect, that consent form is moot. It no longer is in effect, which throws me for a loop. I'm looking at my notes to make sure I don't forget anything. Now, I go into a doctor's office. I have trust that the conversation, the treatment, or whatever is provided during that visit, I want, and that person that I have given consent to have access to that information. It may be a family member. I may be very open with my medical history, my medical experience on social media, but that's my right. That's my decision. For the government, the state of Texas, to have suspicion and then have access to those medical documents, no, 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 no. There's a system in place. It's the justice system. We have that already. If there is suspicion by a government entity, there's due process that has to be done. That's what's in place currently. So if there is suspicion, typically what happens are facts, evidence is gathered due to the suspicion, brought before a judge, presented the facts and evidence to the judge, requesting a warrant. If the judge approves it based on the facts and the evidence, then it moves forward. If there's not enough evidence or not enough facts, then the warrant is not granted. The state of Texas says, screw that process, screw due process. They want to be able to access my personal medical records without due process. That scares me. I understand the topic of abortion and all of that, but this whole point of if there is suspicion, they can come in to my medical records without my consent. Wow. Now, another reason that really struck a chord for me, I lived in Texas for years, and I thought to myself, what if I still lived in Texas? So I want to give you two different scenarios. My mother currently lives in Colorado, and they allow abortions, they allow gender affirming procedures. So if I still lived in Texas and I was getting ready to go and visit my mother in Colorado, I would have in the back of my mind, I would be like, what if they suspect that I went to Colorado for some type of procedure? If I went to Alabama to visit friends and family, now we all know that that's illegal in the state of Alabama, but the thought is still there because I'm leaving the state of Texas. What if they think that I hop over to another state while traveling? Just having that idea there in the back of my mind is not why we live here in America. We live here in America for the freedoms that we are afforded and the freedom to make those decisions. That's what I'm focusing on today. Now, if I were to fly and visit my mother in Colorado, and let's say upon my return to Texas, they say, hey, Tyler, we noticed you traveled to Colorado recently. Well, I was going to visit my mother. And they're like, no, we suspect that you were going to have an abortion. So they just automatically have full range of my medical records. And then they find out that that was not the case. I still have mixed emotions about that. Is that something I want to live with on a daily basis? I mean, come on. No, it's not okay. Now, this next scenario, you may look at me and be like, you know what, this is absurd. But my name is Tyler, Tyler. And a lot of people think that I am a male due to the spelling of my name. I remember my first summer camp, and there are those that you can confirm this story. I had gone with a friend of mine who was my interpreter in first grade. And we were so excited to be attending the summer camp. Well, upon arriving at the summer camp, they pulled up, my name was Tyler Banks at the time, and they pulled my information up at registration. And they said, oh, you're a female? You're not a male? They had to go and get my bed from the dorm, the boy dorm, and move it over to the girls' dorm just because my name was spelled Tyler and then my middle initial was M and they assumed it was Mark. So, okay, prefacing that with this story. Let's say that I travel somewhere and they say, oh, this name looks like a male name. But you're a female. Well, let's pull that information up and confirm. They may think that I've traveled somewhere for gender affirming procedures, all due to the fact that my name is spelled a certain way. Do I want to have that paranoia over me constantly? There's a ripple effect if this truly passes in the state of Texas. There are going to be other states that follow suit. HIPAA is going to go away. They want to control the access. They want to completely disregard the justice system because they want to make sure that we don't have our full right to choose. Why did America leave England hundreds and hundreds of years ago and establish their own country of freedom? Now, when it comes to the election, you're probably thinking, why am I making these comments during this election season? Well, it's a huge impact when it comes to the election. We're not just voting for a president, vice president, Congress, the Senate, legislators, state legislators, county officials, city officials. You're voting for all of those candidates. You're not going to just go and say, oh, I like this person, I'm going to vote for you. No, you need to research. Think about what matters to you. As me, I'm a woman. I want my rights to be met as a woman. Second, I am deaf. I want to ensure my access to services, sign language interpreters, for when I go to medical appointments or if I'm attending school, work, whatever it may be, I want to have that access. When it comes to my children, I want to make sure they have the right to an education and everything that they need to be successful. So those three things matter to me. So I'm going to do my research to see which candidate best supports those things that matter to me, and I'll vote for those individuals. Not just because, oh, I like this person. Oh, people are telling me to vote for this person. No. I'm not going to follow blindly. It's what I've been trying to say for the last couple of weeks now. Do your research. Don't just follow along with what people say. Think about what really matters to you, your family, your partner, your spouse, your children, your grandparents, your parents, everyone. You've got to think about everything. If I vote for this candidate, how is this going to impact me, my family, my friends, my community, my state, my country? These are the things that you have to think about, and this is what I've been trying to say. I'm not here to tell you who to vote for. I believe in your right to vote. Your vote matters. Your vote, if you want it to make a difference and for it to count, do your research. Thank you all for watching.